And we're
Hi.
on.
Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium Kelly White, and I'm on today with John Williams. Hi, John.
Hey, Kel, happy to be here. Happy
I-
Thursday to you.
we just had our first experience with Mercury retrograde, right,
We
John?
sure did, yes. And that's just going to be par for the course, I think, moving
What are you going to do?
forward. Yeah.
What are you going to do? I mean, this is going to be some Mercury retrograde.
And
And
we
I
just went into it, right?
Today is the day. Now, this goes until July 12th, but everybody, this is also between two eclipses. So let's just remember that because this Mercury retrograde is a bit different than the other ones.
Mm.
This is a little different because this packs many punches. This is the time where, travel. Everybody asks me, can I travel? Of course, it's summer and people are going to want to be traveling. And I'm going to say this no, stay home. I know that a lot of people out there already have their plans, shade ready to go. Just want to make sure this is working right. And
Yeah, it is.
but just pack along with your Purell and your masks. Pack some patience because it's going to be a very, very interesting kind of tough ride here that we've got. Because this Mercury retrograde, as I've been talking about it, and I look at things Vedically. Vedic is based on the moon. It's based on the planets that actually move. It's based on emotion. And then I'm looking at it in a Western way. And Western is the planets remain the same, and it's based on the sun, more of the ego and the personality. So, but this one that falls today in Vedic, it's in Gemini, and it will go into Cancer in just a few days.
Mm.
So we're going to have both effects. Gemini rules air, Gemini rules communication.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be trouble with internet, computers, air travel, air hurricanes, air, anything involved in that arena. So, and then when we get to Cancer, when Mercury in retrograde is in Cancer, it's going to be with the home and family and emotions. And so this is going to be a very deep, deep time because we also have, I'm losing count, but I think it's 6 planets in retrograde to boot. And we haven't even hit Neptune yet. And when we hit Neptune, I think that's 6 at that point. The one we will currently Uranus and Mars are not retrograde. Those are going to be the only two that are not retrograde.
Wow.
That's a lot, right? That's
Sure
an
is.
incredible a lot. And then on the 21st, which is this Sunday, on Father's Day, kind of appropriate because it's a solar eclipse, and they call this the Ring of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big one. It's really rare. This eclipse is at 0 degrees. So when something's at 0 degrees, it means, oh man, it's so serious, really serious. And it's in Cancer. This is a big one. It also was the same exact eclipse, same degree, everything, as in on June 21st, same day, everything, in 2001. Then we have still Mercury's in retrograde. All the other planets in retrograde. The only one that's going to come direct is Venus, and I think that's around the 24th or 25th, something like that. But then we have on July 5th the other, the last in this series of Cancer Capricorn on the axis. We have it's on July 5th, and that is a lunar eclipse, and that one is at, I think it's at 14 degrees Capricorn. It's the exact eclipse that was in on July 5th in 2001. What am I saying here? This is an intense time, and we're going into a very intense time, and the our world is rapidly changing, rapidly changing. And I just wanted to give some information. I thought this would be fun to know. What particular, because people always want to know how it affects their sign. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start like this, and this is for your sun, your moon, or your rising, if you know any of that. Most of you will know at least your sun sign. I'm a Gemini. Okay. No, I'm not a Gemini, but I mean, if you were a Gemini, if you were a Gemini right now, I want to say this. This is going to change your life. This is life changing for
Wow.
Geminis. The year is life changing. It could be very intense, and you're going to reanalyze your life. You're going to look at every aspect as only a Gemini could do from the duality standpoint. And well, we'll get to Cancer, Tam. We promise we'll get to Cancer. But Gemini, this is going to have particular energetic everything on it, this Mercury retrograde and the eclipses. And if we look at Cancer, it means that things from the past are going to come up. And it's about healing, and it's also about dreams.
Mhm.
Watch your dreams. Now, again, Gemini and Cancer both will be affected greatly by this Mercury retrograde and by the eclipses. It just will. Now, if you are a Leo or have a Leo rising, I do. You can always tell a Leo rising because of their hair. They always have that
The
thing going.
mane.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah. And
Yeah.
frankly, my moon is in Cancer. So, oh man, I think I'm
I
just.
have a Gemini moon. Well, Gemini moon or
Oh,
Taurus
yeah.
cusp, something like that. Like I'm a cusp for everything. So
Yeah. Except in Vedic. Except in
yes,
Vedic.
you're right. Yeah.
But for Leos, Leo rising, Leo moon, Leo sun, it means friends that old friends reemerge. Now, it's for healing. Also has to do with siblings and healing siblings.
Mhm.
Why am I not surprised? And it has to do with the mother issues.
Mm.
So I'm just giving everybody a heads up on this one because, when an old person comes back into your life, it can throw you.
Yeah.
But it's often for healing or, learning boundaries.
Well, that's
too.
what happens with all Mercuries, right? Mercury retrogrades. It's always reunion, revisit. Yeah. So it's something with,
Reanalyze.
yeah, anything with re in front of it. RE.
That is
Yeah.
so truth. Now, if you're a
Review.
Virgo, review, reassess. So if
Yeah.
you're a Virgo, it again, rising, moon, or sun, it means work and career, and it's a major change in work for Virgo. Okay. If you are a Libra, it's about the father, actually, could have father energy to it. And it
Mhm.
brings about spirituality. So as a Libra, you would be learning more about spirituality and brings teachers into your life. So teachers maybe about spirituality, something like that. If you are a Scorpio, ooh, Wobie. If you're a Scorpio, oh man, these secrets that you've either carried or you know about or you carried, especially in family, traumas and things, they're
Mm.
going to come out because for Scorpio, this means deep psychological transformation and facing your fears.
Mm.
Oh, great. That's a big one, facing your fears.
Yeah.
And, we had the first event that we talked about with the pandemic, and that meant
Mhm.
going inside. This
Mhm.
really what it was about. And the second event, which was uncovering racism yet again.
Mhm.
My goodness, I mean, I it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper into the unconsciousness of
Yeah.
everybody. So that's the second part. But the third part that is coming into with all these planets and um, eclipses, it's going to be about fear, looking at fear.
Mm.
So, in a way, Scorpio, you're divinely set for this.
Mm.
Um, and then for Sagittarius's, is that a
Mhm.
word? Sagittarius. You're going to be looking at reassessing your partners. Now, Sagittarius likes their freedom. So,
Mm.
really, you want to look at that partner aspect and learn how to communicate even better because sometimes there's a fiery aspect there, and you might want to learn to communicate better. Now, Capricorn, this is about health. So, Capricorns out there really have to take care of their health. As opposed to going out to take care of somebody else, it means to take care of yourself. So, pay attention to that. This is going to be very important. For Aquarius, children are going to need your attention. And also, it's about reorganizing your creativity. So
Mm.
that's going to be important for Aquarius. For Pisces, John, it's to reassess things. And it's also about the home and fixing
Mhm.
up the home,
Oh
making
yeah.
sure the electricity works, making sure that, I don't know, whatever's broken, you can fix. Now, in a Mercury retrograde, you can't go back to fix things. It might take a while
Yeah, right.
because of Mercury in retrograde.
Yeah.
You have a plumber coming, and you're lucky if the person shows up, 3 days later. It's just how that works.
So overall, Mercury rules communication
Mm-hmm.
and technology, right? What
Yes.
else?
A lot of travel.
Travel.
It
Okay.
does with travel and writing. And I'm going to tell
And
you what it
writing.
is good for. And we're going to get to that in just a second. Let me just finish
Okay.
this up, and then I'll
Sure.
tell you what it's good for during this particular time.
Okay.
For Aries people, this is not a time to travel because Mars is going to go in its own home one day in the next 10 days. I think it's like the 25th or 26th. And that is going to make things intense because Aries, is number one, it's intense, it's fiery, and when it goes into its own home, when Mars goes into its own home, that's going to bring about some intense things, and so it could have something to do with siblings actually in that. And then the last one I'll talk about is Taurus. So for Taurus, it's also about facing health issues like eating healthy is going to be a big one. Also, Taurus in this Mercury retrograde has to do with financial situations. Okay. Now, what is this good for? There used to be that song. Absolutely
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing. Say it again.
Yeah, say it
Yes.
again. I love that.
Yeah.
But which is kind of funny. So
We both felt the same thing. It's kind of
God,
fun.
that
Yeah.
was always one of my favorites.
Isn't it war? What is it
War,
good for? Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Say it again. Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
going forward, Mercury retrograde is good this time for healing because there's in a few days it squares Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer. Now, everybody's got a placement of Chiron in their chart, everybody, and depending on where it is in the chart, will help you with what kind of healing that you're going to do. But in this particular time, Chiron healing is about spirituality, frankly, shamanism. I mean, Native American wisdom, things that you may not have looked into, you'll start looking into now. So it's all going to be good. Herbs are really good during this time. So I would say it's good for a few things: healing, resting, writing, reflecting. Keep a dream journal because we haven't even mentioned Neptune going retrograde, and that's a powerhouse. So everything during this time is very important. So Tracy says Mercury was retrograde when she was born. Does that have a lifetime aspect via a few weeks? Such a great question. The answer is yes. And I'll tell you why, Tracy. I was also born with Mercury retrograde. So was James Van Prague. So we're all in good company here. I'll tell you why this is important. Such a great question. Thanks for asking. If you were born with Mercury in retrograde, things would have taken longer for you to achieve. So somebody with a life path with Mercury direct could go like this. Boo, they could just like buzz through. With Mercury retrograde, it's like slows everything down and this that. But here's the positive about that. You can handle these energies. Anybody born with Mercury retrograde is like, whoop, okay, whatever. Doesn't matter to me because it really doesn't. I mean, I'm very patient anyway, but still, such a good question. I often think with people born that way, there's a special aspect there. I'm not saying that because I had it. It's just that you have to overcome a lot of things. You have to overcome a lot. I hope that answers your question. So now we're going to get into numerology. This is so exciting. This goes under Know Thyself, discovering your life path. Know Thyself. So I thought what we would do is I'm going to tell everybody how to get your numbers. It's so easy. It's so easy. And we're doing the life path, which is really the basic numerology. And I'm going to, well, we're going to do Oprah Winfrey's, which is going to be fun. But I'll tell you, we'll start with mine, and then I'm going to tell you how to do it. And then I'm going to read everybody to you what the numbers mean. So there's 1 through 9. Yeah, get your pen and paper ready to calculate your life path. All right, even before I go in that way, we'll tell everybody. So my birthday is September. So you take the month that you were born. So whatever month you were born, I happen to be in September, and that is a 9. So you count January is a 1, February is a 2, March is a 3, and so on. When you get to September, it's a 9. And then you take your birth date, the date that you were born. I was born on the 20th. So now you have a 9 plus, and everything is calculated to a single digit, except there's an exception to that we'll talk about. And so that would be 9 plus 2. And then you take the year, and I was born in 1957, which is actually a 22 year. So you would calculate 57 is 12, and then you add the 10 of the 9 and 1 to that, and you get a 22. And then if I take 22 and I add the 9 plus 2, which is an 11, that equals a 33 life path. You don't reduce a 33. So John, let's have your numbers. Tell me your birthday, and then we'll do one more time so people will get it.
All right, let me make sure I have. Is this right? Like this? Month plus day plus year calculation. Example: 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 7 equals 33.
Perfect. Right on.
All right.
You're so good.
I'm taking notes.
I heard the calculating. I was like, boy, thank you for that. Yes. Yeah. Now let's take your birthday.
Okay, so mine is 3/20/75.
Okay. You're going to love this. So John was born on March. That's 3 plus 20. So he and I are exactly the 6-month degree apart. This is why we work so well together. He's my yin, my yang, or if you will. I mean, you're literally on that exact day, March 20th. So it's 3 plus 2. And then 1975, John, is the reversal of mine, 57.
Wow.
That's a 22. I never even put that together. You were born when I was graduating from high school. Who knew? So you were born in 75, which is also a 22 year. So if you want to put that up, 3, so a 20, so 3 plus 2 is a 5. So you'd be what we call a 522. Well, that's what I would call it. But a 522 is a 29. Oh, is a 29. But 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. No, it's a 9. Is that right? Yeah.
That's what I got. 9. Yeah, 7 plus 2 is 9. So that's what I got. Okay. 27, because it comes up to a 27 and then a 9, right?
Right.
So essentially, I'm this. If I get this put up here, boom.
Okay.
Life path 9.
Yes. So yes. All right. So I'm gonna talk about every life path. So let's start with.
Okay.
And then we'll get through this, and we'll go through 9. But so when you reduce the numbers, you're either. Oh, you know what? Let's do.
So she would be. So Kathy would be, if she's a 38, she would be 11.
You'd
if
be
you add
11
them together. Yeah.
Yep,
so Kathy would be 11. Okay.
Yes, and if we take Oprah Winfrey, I thought this would be fun, and then we're going to go through everything. Oprah Winfrey was born January 29, 1954. So if you take January, which is a 1, you take 29, which is an 11.
So let me see.
Whenever you see anything that breaks down to 11, you do not break it down to 2. You keep it as an 11.
She's what again? Go ahead.
She's January 29, which is an 11.
So 1 plus 2 plus 9.
And then she was born in 1954. And in 1954 is a 10. And if you add 10 plus 1 plus 11, you get 22. Oprah Winfrey's a 22.
So me. The same. Well, actually.
You're a 9.
I was a 9.
She's a 22.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay. So 1 plus 2.
No, you take, well, how I do it is you never break down the 29. I mean, you break it down to an 11. So that I circle that number. So to me, that is everything right there. The 29th is an 11. And then you add 1954, which is a 10 when you add that. Some people would call it a 1. I do not. It's an 11. I mean, it's a 1. And then you add, I make it a 10, and then I add 10 plus 1 in January. That's an 11, and 11 and 11 equals 22.
Okay.
It might
be confusing when you add.
It gets confusing.
It does when you start, because if you add each individual digit,
you'd get a 4.
To 4. Okay.
Yeah, but she's much more powerful than a 4.
So June is saying she doesn't get where she gets the 9 for me.
Okay, so 3, 20, 1957, 1975 is a 22. And then you go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You add them all together.
Okay.
You see how I did that? I took 22 from the year.
Mm-hmm.
22 plus 2 is 24, 25, 26, 27. And 27 is 2 plus 7 equals 9.
Yeah, I get it. So you add the last,
Mm-hmm.
the last two together. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So Selena wants you to do hers. Let's do hers really quick. 729.58.
Okay, and then I want to tell everybody what this means.
Yeah.
So, all right, so hold on, Selena. So it's 29, I'm going to break down to an 11. Okay, 7, 11, 1958, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is a 5. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You, honey, are a 5. 8, 9,
Okay.
11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, you're a 5.
So it's because she ended up with 14, so she put 4 plus 1 is 5.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So let's talk about what everything is, and then we'll go over some individual people. But let's talk about, so there are 9, the first 9 I'm going to go with, and then we're going to go into the master numbers and then the power numbers.
Okay.
So then a number 1, if you, number 1 is somebody who's very ambitious. Number 1 is, every number has a positive and a negative for the record, okay? So it means number 1 is exceptionally strong in motivation, they're goal-oriented, and they're like me first. They're very kind of can be very intense. They don't necessarily have a concern for others' feelings. It's really about me and that. And they have such a determination that really nothing can get in the way of that. It's somebody who's very straightforward and doesn't ask for a second opinion. And the positive side is they get a lot done. They get a lot done. But remember, every birth, we choose our birth before we incarnate. So why would a person choose that? Well, I mean, they needed to learn about, their drive. They really had to have that experience. By the time we get to a certain place in this dimension, we have been around the block so many times. We've been probably every number. I think what I was asking my guides how that worked, and it doesn't necessarily go in order, they said. I used to think that was, maybe it's a Virgo in my head. Oh, you go 1 and then you're a 2 and you're 3. No. It's like an accumulation of lifetimes that you have that would add up to whatever it is you were needing. So if you were needing the experience of a 1, you're going to be a 1. And there's, again, if nothing can stand in the way of a 1, often you'll have to go, woo, And so and I don't see very often, I don't see too many 1. Often I'll see a 10 and I'll take a 1 and I'll say, you know what, you're actually older than that. You're a 10 now. And I do that. It depends on the soul. And you can always kind of tell some really are new in this path. And I'm like, oh boy, they are nowhere near a 10. And some are not. It all just depends, honestly, because I view things from so many different lenses. So a number 2 is, without a doubt, this will make you laugh. What do you think? A 2 is a partner. Now, John, you and I both are born on the 20th. Anybody who's born on the 2nd of the day, on the 22nd, on the 20th, that's a 2. 2s have to have partners. Again, John, this is why we work so well together. 2s really are relationship oriented. They don't like to stand alone.
Yeah,
they really don't. They carry the vibration of being with somebody. And it's so interesting because it's really part of your experience in this earth is to have a partner and to understand it. I don't get too many 2s. I don't know why that is.
2s are very intuitive too, right?
Very, very intuitive. Very intuitive. And please, if somebody's a 2 out there, I want to know. So a number 3 is always the same. It's creative, it's communication, and it means growth. And it symbolizes almost magic because a 3 can spark others. And they can, if you think about it, lucky number 3. 3 is, and then if you think of the Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost, and all of that, it's the 3 it just has this special energy to it. It brings the past, the present, and the future into it. And it's got like a rhythm. Often when I do a reading for somebody, I look at every roadmap that'll get me into that soul. So a roadmap would look like, let's look at what number they came in with, what destiny card they are, where they are
Sure.
astrologically. It helps me to go, and then I can get messages and it goes, okay, here we go. This is what, and I like to add meaning to that. So
Yeah.
it's just a roadmap, and threes have a special energy. When I see a three, I think it 3 times the charm. It has a special thing.
Are they also funny people?
Very funny.
Okay.
Oh, threes because they're so creative. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Thanks for. They're really creative, and
Mm-hmm.
definitely funny.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely funny. Now, 4 is the number of foundations and stability. So
Okay.
you can always see a 4 coming. They're stable.
Mm-hmm.
They're just stable. They're like Earth itself. They're solid. They don't change easily. It's like a square peg almost. They're durable. They're fixed. It's more of a masculine, believe it or not, and it brings commitment and strength and productivity and purpose.
So they're the
So
original, not the copy.
they're the original, absolutely. Spontaneity, they do not have. So
Uh,
if you marry a 4 and you're a 5, I would have said, you want to think about that first?
yeah.
Only because now a 5, and we're going to get to that in a minute, might love the stability of a 4. And a 4 will be like, ooh, there she goes, or here he goes. And it's kind of fun to watch. And then a 4 gets real grounded and is like, I've had enough of this.
Mm-hmm.
So 4s are, they get bored. They can be boring and they get bored and they procrastinate. That's on the negative side. I happen to love 4s, but um, yeah, spontaneity is not their thing. So a number 5, 5s are freedom personified. And a 5 touches every number. And a 5 means that if you're a 5, you could be out in public. You can, well, not now probably, but you could. You travel.
Mm.
You want to just keep going. You just want
So,
to
this,
go. You don't like routine.
so
Well,
that's a good question, right? A 5 and a 9. Well, we haven't got to the 9 yet,
we're
but
going to
fives
get
are
to the
very
9.
compatible with pretty much everyone.
Everybody, they touch
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
Selena. A 5 is
Yeah.
charming. It's just they can they can grow faster than anybody because they can change, and it's all about personal transformation, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the number of humanity. They say because the body's head and 4 limbs, the 5 fingers and toes on the foot, and the 5 senses, although they're really more than 5 senses. But it's often what happens with a 5 is they get bored, and so they have to have stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but yeah, they get along with everybody. Everybody, actually. So 6 is, we call it the love number. 6 means home and family. It's so funny. I did a radio show last night with Jen Weigel, and she's a 6. And it's really
Huh?
about, we talked about this on the show. It's really about nurturing and stability and trust and balance. And it's important because that they have a domestic, partner that understands them because they love the home, they love the sanctuary. They're really, really creative. They have a perfectionism problem and controlling probably too much. But, again, every side, there's a
Mm-hmm.
negative on every side. I
The
assure you.
shadow side.
Shadow side, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So number seven is the most spiritual of all. And the reason is, well, seven,
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it
Sure.
in the Bible, and seven is a big one. Um, it means lucky or unlucky, seven. But it is in all the history and all of our lives. It holds a special place for spirituality. God created the world. I think it was in 7 days. I'm so not biblical.
Sure.
Charlene,
Yeah.
I need your help with that. But
Oh, I was
it's something about
Pentecostal
that.
Christian. It was 7 days.
Okay, it
Because
is
he
seven
rested
days.
on the seventh. I think created on
Okay.
6 and rested on the 7th. Yeah.
Okay. So seven encourages it. It holds the vibration of intellect with spirituality. And a 7 can go askew very far.
Mm-hmm.
A 7 can go to the left somewhere. And you're like, what? What? Wait a minute. They can drink too much. They can carry on. But the most mature 7s are the ones that have gone through their trials and tribulations and have reached a place of faith and spirituality. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole goal with that about wisdom, because they have a lot of wisdom. Yeah, and there's a lot of hidden stuff in a 7, so you have to kind of work on that. Now, number 8. Now, 8 is power. 8 is
Mm-hmm.
power. Power can be fabulous and it can be abusive. So you always have to watch an 8 where you're coming from. Because it's also, though, 8 is the number of renewal because it goes around, what am I doing like this? It goes around, it's renewal. And it's ambition, it's advancement. It can be business. It can be it's a certain abundance in their chart. It's all of these things, but they always have to watch and be humble with power.
Mm-hmm.
Power is everything. But boy, I will tell you this. Nothing could motivate more than an 8 that's in the right place.
When we
Eights
get to
are
9, this is really interesting. Karen brings up a really good point.
okay. Hold on. Number 9, and this is the last and the greatest of the single digit numbers. And it means the end of a cycle. So, John, you would be here finishing up a cycle, which makes so much
Hopefully,
sense,
this is the
right?
last incarnation.
Well, then we're going to go to grad school after that.
Okay.
So, people born with an abundance of 9 in their charts, John, that would be you, would have lived many lives and gained
Yeah.
many experiences. By the way, James Van Praagh is a 9. In
Ah,
the same way, this number contains all the lessons and challenges of 1 through 8, and that's why sometimes it's really hard for people to move on. But 9 comes in to learn wisdom.
which makes
No,
sense.
yeah. Oh, it totally does.
Well, think about it, because I'm a Pisces too. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so I've got so much endings going on. This whole life has been about endings.
Well, and here's the
Oh,
thing with
God.
9s, they
Yeah.
seldom are concerned with material success.
Yeah, well,
And it's important here, but it's just the culmination of all of these years of lifetimes that comes together in a
I think I
9.
did this with numerology.com or something like that. But famous 9s are Prince, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, and Yoko Ono. So that's interesting.
Wow. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, and James. And
Yeah.
James. My mother was a 9 also. I mean, and then this is great. And then Karen, we're going to get that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Karen
This
says,
is so funny. Read
I was
this.
born on 5/4
When you
life
add it up,
path
it's a 9.
at 10:08.
Add
That's
that up,
funny.
that's a
It's
9.
9. Okay.
5'4".
Okay. That's fantastic, Karen.
That's so cool. I had to leave that up until you got there because I just love that comment, Karen. It's just perfect. You're right. We choose our numbers.
We choose
Yeah.
everything.
That's
So
hilarious.
9 for you, Karen, would be ultimately on the 9th of any day of month, or the 9th. 9 would be everything. Would be a real sign to you. I mean, 5'4" even. I mean, you think about it. So Renee says, add the month you were born plus the day you were born in the year. Reduce single. I was just going to get that. Thanks, Renee.
Yes, and we're going to get into the 11,
We're going to get
22,
into the
33.
11, 22, and
Mhm.
33 right now. So I work a lot with 11s. I work with everybody, but
Mhm.
11 seems to be a big one. So there are 3 master numbers: 11, 22, and 33. And you do
Mhm.
not break those down. So an 11, when somebody takes an incarnation as an 11, they come in as a teacher. That
Mhm.
means that they were going to have a pretty tough life. And the reason is because it's like grad school. So you get to 9 and you think, oh, I've had enough of this place.
Yeah.
And then there's some other people that say, well, I'll come back and do grad school. So you come back and you take an 11 incarnation. Now, there's positives and negatives with everything. So as an 11, you get more responsibility. You're very intuitive. Of all the numbers, it's probably the most intuitive, an 11.
Mhm. Mhm.
Very, very intuitive. It really
Psychic,
is
right?
very, very psychic.
Mhm.
It's very
Mhm.
psychic because it brings in all kinds of, you have to really pay attention when you're an 11 of everything. I just want to make sure I get all the attributes here with it because they're very
Judy
powerful.
says her son is 11. She married an 11, and she's an 8.
Oh, well, you had to be an 8 to be around that crowd. You had to be. And an 11 is charged with charisma, leadership, inspiration. It's a number that was inborn with duality, which would create dynamism and inner
Mhm.
conflict, and phobias. It could create fear and phobias if it's turned inward. Now, let me tell you about an 11. 11, sometimes we'll find gurus that are 11.
Mhm.
Now, here's the problem. It's just something to pay attention to because of the charisma aspect of it. And I actually have seen it firsthand with somebody that I knew with this. And they are could be seductive into the point of that they want you to follow them and that they're using the 11 in the wrong way. Okay.
Mm.
So you always want to watch as an 11 your lessons that
Manipulator?
manipulator, master. And
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what, you're not going to be a 22 at that point then. You're going to
Yeah.
stay down at
Stay
11
at 11.
and until you learn and learn and learn. And this is why in an 11 will take really, really, really hard lives
Mm.
because if they have to get it, so they really
Mm-hmm.
get it. And the only way in this dimension that you get it is by actually really having the physical experience, you know. And yes, Karen, we choose our absolutely, you're right. We choose our everything before we come in. So Danny says that her husband and son are 11, and you must be the 8. Go you, because that's a tough one. And after an 11 comes a 22. So a 22, a master 22 is a builder. As I said,
Mm-hmm.
Oprah Winfrey is a
Mm-hmm.
22. 22s come in and they can build. Donald Trump is a 22. They
Hmm.
can build, and we know him as a builder, but he also can destroy.
Destroy.
And this is the problem. This
Yeah.
is why when you take on a 22, you
Mm-hmm.
have to really be mindful of every moment because again you'll be in big trouble. The universe will go, oh, this is your class, you went to graduate school for this? I don't think so. Watch, boom, 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 and you'll get knocked down so hard and so fast it'll make your head spin. And then, oh, Danny, you're an 11 too. The whole kit and caboodle is 11.
I
Oh,
guess so.
wow, Lord have mercy. I can't even imagine that one. Well,
Was that a
together,
33 if you add them
I
all
was
up?
just going to say that, John. You're reading my mind. Oh my God. And so a 33 comes in, and that's considered the master teacher for the teachers. And yes,
Yeah, I think Kim might be a 33.
Kim's a 33. Let's see.
Might be if we do our
315,
math.
68 is 14, 15. That's a 6. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, wait a minute. 6, 3, 6, and 6. 6, 6. 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, it's a 6. I don't know it's 6. No, it's not. I don't think it's a natural. I have to play around with that, Kim.
Okay.
I have to play with. I think that's a 6, honey. Um, 68, 6.
I'm sorry, I went put it back up.
Yeah, 6, 6, and 3. I don't think so.
When you get into those double digits, it's a little.
It's a little trickier.
It
See,
is
if you
tricky.
were born in 66, which is a 22, and your birthday was the 3/8, that would be a true 33.
Hmm. Well,
So
someone can do the
it's
math and let us know.
yeah,
And then I'm going to put up a refresher because I found this on Instagram. I think this is helpful for people.
perfect. Okay, perfect. So 33 comes into inspire, yes, and we have had all lives in order to get here
Mm-hmm.
to do this, and it really it's here for uplifting humanity. So I think that's what I've been trying to do. Please God, I'm doing it. My work. So yeah, here we go. Best leader, funniest. Yeah, these are great,
Mm-hmm.
John. Oh, this is great. You'll put that up for us?
Yeah, I'll put that in the group as well, but this is here. And also
Okay.
people are asking if you'll write this stuff up. I don't know if you can post your notes
I
or
will
what.
I will do that. Yes.
But I'll let people know that, we always have this on demand on Facebook and also on YouTube.
But you
It's
know what?
all archived.
I've
So.
got like 100 million things I'm juggling right now, but I
No, I bet.
promise this
Oh, I know.
I will do. This won't
But let
take
me
me
bring
that
up a
long.
great book, Kel, that really
Okay.
introduced me to all this. And I just found out yesterday that it was revised, and that is The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. It's the
Oh.
25th anniversary edition is available now.
Now, is this numerology?
Yes.
I did
Dan
not know
Millman.
Dan. I remember when he did Peaceful Warrior.
Yes, he did. And I was introduced to numerology through Dan Millman
I
and his
did not
book,
know
The
that.
Life You Were Born to Live, years and years ago. And this is the revised 25th anniversary.
Oh.
And you can also get an app and do it there.
Huh.
But yeah, I actually ordered this book again because I don't have the old copy any longer.
I would
Over
love
1 million copies.
Well, I'd
of
love
that
to
one.
get him on the show. I
Yeah.
remember him back in the day. I
Yeah.
did not know he did that book. Wow.
Yeah, and it breaks
Great
down
idea.
all the paths, like,
Yeah.
so I'm a 27/9, so 27/9, because you 7 plus 2 is 9.
Yep.
So he breaks it all down for you. It's a really great book. Yeah, I have to see what the revised copy is. I'm sure it's even better. Yeah.
Fabulous. I think
Mhm.
that's a great idea. So are there calls that we could take? Or
Yes, we got our first caller, and it's our funny Katrina K. Hey, Katrina.
Hi, Katrina. I cannot hear her.
We love you too. I hear you fine.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
but I guess Kelly doesn't hear you. But let me see if I can get you to work. It's so strange. No, it's a Mercury retrograde thing. Let me go ahead and get you back on in just a second. It's not you. It's us. So let me work on that. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Cal.
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah. It's
So
yeah.
yeah, well,
I'm going to change it to something else
Okay.
and see if it comes in. I don't know if it will.
I think that was the issue that we're having at the beginning of the show.
oh, all right.
Yeah.
Is there another call that I should take, or is there anybody that wants me to do their numbers?
Well, we can do the numbers through
That's
chat
what I want.
because you're not hearing the calls and I am. So,
Okay.
so if you're still not hearing Katrina, still not hearing her,
Yes,
No.
I can hear that. Yes,
No?
yes,
you hear her now? Oh,
I
perfect.
do.
All right, great. All right, great.
Like-
Yay, it works.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi,
So
Katrina.
I
Hi,
was
honey.
curious, I started late on the show, and I was curious if you could break down my birthday.
Yes. What? Tell me what it is.
Let's.
It's 11/17/67.
Okay.
11, 17, 1967.
Okay. So we've got an 11.
And the audience, make sure you tell us if you hear Katrina, because I'm hearing her now. Kelly's finally hearing her. I think everyone else should be hearing her. And make sure you hear me, because I just changed the setting and
I can hear you.
yeah.
Okay. So 1967 is a 5. So I added 6 plus 7 plus 1 is a 5. 13, 14,
Okay.
and total is a 5. 7 plus 1, because 17, is an 8. And then we have an 11. So if I just take 8 and 5 is 13, 14, 15. That is a 6. Honey, you are a 6.
A 6.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And you remember what a
12,
6 was,
13.
Katrina?
Yes. Family would be
I don't
very
remember
important.
because
That's okay. Family would be very important to
Creative.
you. Creative, but family and love and harmony and peace
Mm-hmm.
would be really
Okay.
important.
Okay.
I was actually
Oh
thinking
my.
you
Well,
were a 3, because Miss Funny.
a 3.
Yeah, because you're so funny and full of life and joy, and it's just so that's why I was like, call in. I want to do your numbers.
I know. Thank you. I love
Thanks.
you guys. I hope I get to chat with you after the show.
Thank you for reminding
you
us.
all.
Yes, we will
Thank
go
you.
live in the
Yeah.
chat room after. So thanks for calling in, sweetheart.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so let's see here. We've got area code 878. Thank you for your patience. Let's make sure we hear you. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Tammy, Pennsylvania,
Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
What's your birth date?
7/18/1960. I'm in the chat room with you.
Hi, Tammy. So, okay,
Hi.
so 1960, everybody, is a 7. And 18, because you were born on the 18th, is a 9. And you were born in July, which is a 7. So that's 14,
And did you say
20,
1960, Tammy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 23. You are a 5, honey. 14.
And I was born at 4:10 p.m. Isn't that a 5?
That's a 5.
that's funny.
So the energies
So
of 5 is very adaptable.
Mhm.
You touch everybody. It's 5. 5s are great because they get the world going. It really, the energy of a 5. If I know there's an energy of a 5 around, I know that that person is capable of moving and changing and growing. Some numbers are fixed, like a 4. You're like, oh boy, okay. But 5s, go.
Mhm.
This is good. Good. Thanks for calling, Tammy. We'll see you in the chat room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So let's see here. Got several people calling in. I think we're going to Boston now.
Boston.
Yeah. I think they hung up. So
Oh.
if we're holding, please call back in and we'll get you on because we're in the 45 minutes. So 45 minutes into the show. So we have a few minutes left. And I just want to remind folks, if you aren't in our group, please do join it because we are going to be meeting in our Both Sides Now TV community group in our chat room. So our video chat room, you don't need to have a camera, but we do want to hear you. So we'd love to see you as well. So join us in our video chat room after the show for our after show discussion.
And I want to show everybody this.
Yeah,
Is this the coolest thing?
that is so
I
cool.
did this the other day, but it's an amethyst point. I bought one for James, and I saw he
You
did it
showed
too.
me. Yeah, the big
Such a
wand.
great, and I
Yeah.
got this from The Crystal Shrine. The Crystal Shrine. It's in Burbank, but you can go on Instagram and
Okay.
find her or go to her website. And what's really cool about Shauna she owns the company. What's great about it is if you're looking for a crystal, because people always ask me where I get my crystals, I get them from all over. And in COVID, we used to love to go to Shauna's store in California, but I don't live there anymore. But what she does is she does FaceTime. And if you tell her what you're looking for or whatever, she'll go, "Oh, here you go." And you can actually see it in real time. And then she
Oh,
packs
wow.
it beautiful. So I
That's
got one
great.
for James and I got one for me. And I just love it. Anyway,
Nice.
it's
Well,
good
we
to
have
conk
our
people.
Boston caller on the line.
Okay. Hi, Boston.
Is this Jody?
Yes, this is Jody. Hi.
Hi, Jody. What's your birth date, Jody?
July 16th, 1974.
Okay, so
July
74 is
16.
7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is a 3. And 7, so it's 7, July is a 7, the 16th is a 7 and a 3, so 14, 15, 16, 17. You are an 8. So an 8 comes in with power. Additionally, you're a queen of clubs, so you would have a power with thought, and your thought would be constant, and you'd have to come in to learn spirituality with creativity. That's how I break all that down. And power, you would use your power wisely.
Yeah. How's that feel, Jody?
Thank you. Feels great. Powerful.
Great and powerful. I love it.
Good. Thanks for calling.
in, Jody.
All right.
Hopefully you'll join
Thank
us in the
you.
chat after.
Okay.
Okay. Take care. hon. All right. We're going to go through these as quickly as we can because we just have a few minutes left. We're going to Julie, it looks like. Area code 352. 352, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Is this Julie?
This is Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
So do you have your birth date for us so we can take a look at your numbers?
I sure do. It's
Okay.
8/7/1960.
Okay, so 1960 is a 7, and then you are an 8 and a 7 and a 7. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yay, ding, ding, ding. We got a 22 here.
A 22.
22 is a builder.
Yeah.
It is a builder. So you come in to build 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, any which way I slice it, it's a 22. So 22 is a builder, and they come with very specific things to do in this world. Literally to build. Sometimes they are builders, or they're here to do to construct something. Whether it's what do you do?
I work for a school district with teachers and students.
Okay, so you maybe community builder or build, yeah. Yeah, you'd have to have a big, almost a tough exterior to do that. That's not easy to do.
Well, thank you for calling in, Julie.
Wow.
Appreciate you.
That's a really powerful, honey.
Thank you.
Go you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through as many as quickly as we can. So let's go. I think we have Carrie. This is Carrie from area code 850.
Yes.
Hi, Carrie. Is your birthday January 26, 1959?
Yes, sir.
Okay, January 26, 1959.
1959, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait a minute. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's a 6 and an 8 and a 1. Okay, so 14, 15. That is a 6. I just want to make sure I have that right.
Okay, is that what you came up with?
Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
For creativity.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, you're a 6, any which way I slice it.
Very
so,
creative.
yeah, very well. It's more than just creativity. It's also balance is really important to you, Carrie. Balance and a calm is, and people would come to you because you would be calm, and they would want that energy. It's a nurturing energy. So, and January 26th, in and of itself, means that you've come to learn a lot about yourself. So I would say you will probably in this lifetime learn everything you need to learn, but it would be done in a balanced way. You're an interesting mix here. So thanks for calling.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Carrie. All right, moving on. Let's see here. We got Kathy and area code 661. Kathy, are you there?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hi there.
Calling in. Can we have your birthday, please?
Sure, it's 12/4/1960.
Oh my God, you're my sister's birthday.
Oh, wow.
My sister was born December 4th, 1960. I always wondered when that was going to happen. So again, 1960 is a 7, and then 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is a 7, and then, so a 7 and a 7 is 14. It's a 5. It's a 5. Let me just make sure I have that right. 12, 13, 14, 15, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 and 7 is 14, and that's a 5. 4 and 1 is a 5. So
I
you're
had
a 5.
question because you said retrograde, Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm a Sagittarius. My partner's birthday is 12/13/1949, and I was wondering, there's been this communication thought going in my head, so I was wondering if that had anything to play with it.
Well, he's a 5 of clubs, so he would needs a lot of freedom, and you're a 5, and you need a lot of freedom, and you're an ace of diamonds on top of that. So I think, and for him, let me just see his number real quickly, because I would think with both of you, you would give each other freedom. It's very critical in this relationship. 14 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's a 3, so he's got to be creative. He's got to be creative. Together, it would be a power couple, actually. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's a good combination. It's a good combination for you because actually he would understand you probably better than most people. And I think he has.
And it's a she, so yes, she does.
Oh, she would definitely.
I had that feeling. How funny. You just confirmed it. I don't know how I knew that.
Sorry about that.
Well,
was it the deep voice? I don't know.
No, it wasn't that. I don't know what it was, but I just had that feeling. I love that. Thank you for that confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for calling. That was sweet.
I'm a graphic designer, and she's kind of helps me all the time, so it's good.
Well,
It's a good match.
And happy Pride Month, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Sure
Thanks
thing.
for calling, Kathy.
It is Pride Month, and June is LGBTQ Pride, and we just had a victory with the protection for employment being awarded by the Supreme Court, which is a huge surprise that it actually passed with the conservatives, and but
that's a shock.
God, it is. It really is. So thank you. All right, that's so wild. I had that feeling. All right.
And watch, I'm just doing the numbers, and I'm so sorry.
I love it though. That's so wild. Hi, Lori. Thank you for calling in. Can we have your birthday, please?
Hi, Kelly.
Is this Lori, my favorite Lori?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Fullerton Lori.
I know. I love this Lori. Lori and I go way back. Lori is a 3 of diamonds, John. 10-6, and the year is
55.
55, which is an 11. So 1955 is 10 is an 11 in itself, Lori. So that's you did not take an easy life path. And then if I add 10 and 6, it's 7. And I add the other 2, it's a 9. So you're a 9 path. So congratulations, honey.
Just
you
like
made it.
Me.
Just like John, with an 11 influence and a 3 of diamonds to boot. So that means that you took it just like John. John, 3 of diamonds and a 9.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Now, do I know Lori?
Get together.
I don't know Lori.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Lori, join our group and let's get to know one another because we're in the video chat and we love getting together in the video chat and hanging out. So if you want to, join us.
All right, I'll try.
Lori and I have the best time together. When we're together, which I don't get to see her now very often, but we grew up together in a lot of ways, right, Lori? So we really
Lori,
did.
how do you spell
for
your
sure.
name?
Decades.
Yes.
Talking decades now.
How does she spell her name?
So this is
LAURY.
why.
LAU?
Get easier, Kelly?
Does what?
Sorry. Does this path get any easier going forward?
Well, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the world. And and so I think what happens, I'll tell you why it does get easier, Lori, is because all nines come for wisdom and to actually embody wisdom. And you've been I honestly can say this about Lori because she's one of my closest friends. She has been on a path of wisdom for 30 years, Lori, 40 years, long time. And she's been on this path, this journey. And so anybody who takes a spiritual path would learn so much in their life that I would say that the reason it gets easier, because nothing's going to get easier in this life, but the reason it does is if you get to a point of, okay, and wisdom, and it just comes in, and this is where you are.
And I was just about to say that. I was going to say that one of the gifts of wisdom, sorry, I always get this reversed. One of the gifts of pain is wisdom. Yeah. So when you endure a lot of pain through life, you learn a lot of wisdom because you become that testimony for other people, and your testimony becomes someone else's survival guide. Yeah. So just believe that it's all happening for a reason, and learn your lessons, because what happens is that spiral keeps coming back around, and you learn deeper truth to it. So you get the lesson, and that's a 9 speaking to another 9. And a 3 of diamonds at that. Good God. Yeah.
Good God. It's true. Well, Lori and I would sit at the beach and drink the greatest Bloody Marys with shrimp and bacon. We'd have these deviled eggs. It's like our favorite thing to do. Honestly, it's still one of my highlights of my life. I love to do that. Next time I get to LA, even though I'm not drinking, I'm going to, Lori. I'm going to make an exception.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us, Lori. Appreciate you calling in.
I love you, Lori, so much.
Stay strong.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh, that's sweet. All right. We got Betty from New York.
Okay. Betty from New York. Hi, Betty.
Hello.
Hi, Betty.
Good. How are you? Thanks for calling in.
Great. It says Elizabeth here, but I'm in and out to chats with Betty. So that's it.
That's good. What's your birthday?
My birthday is 1/7/68.
Wow.
My daughter is here, and she's 6/29/99.
Okay, so let me just do yours. 14, 15. Okay, so your 1968 is a 6, and 13, 14. You're a 5. You're a 5 life path, and your daughter 1999. All those kids that were 1999. Oh, that's a big one, because if you break down 29, it's an 11 and a 6. Hold on a minute. 9, 9, and 27, 28, and it's a 1. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Your daughter is a 9, and you're a 5. Oh, didn't somebody ask me about that earlier, a 5 and a 9 connection? It's a really good connection because she's your teacher.
It's interesting because she's been through a lot of pain in her life, young life.
Yeah.
And
all
I heard
9s.
you say that, so.
Yeah, all 9s. But she's here to complete her life and to do a completion in a cycle of a soul cycle, and you are there to make sure everything is going to be okay, and but she will have her own experiences. All 9s do. Everybody has their own experiences, but 9s in particular have, some big ticket things. But it's all good. Right. It's all good. She's got you. How great is that? Because you're adaptable. So that's good. You're welcome.
Like
Thanks for
9
calling.
9 is most giving.
9s are so giving. 9s, well, that's the truth.
That would be
because once you get to that wisdom place, you just give away wisdom. You just exude it. You just exude it. Been there, done that. All right.
And our last caller will be Connie, I believe, from Oregon. Is that correct?
Yes.
Hi, Connie.
Hi there. What's your birth date?
Oh, I'm wondering, I think I'm adding wrong. My birthday is 7/25/1956.
So 1956, 11 is 56 is a 3. So it's 11, 12, it's a 3. And then 7, so it's 7 plus 7 is 14, 15, 16, 17. You are an 8.
I did add right.
You added right. Go you. I know it looks tricky. I just do it so fast in my head. I've been doing it for so long, but
That's
you're
a
an 8.
powerful number.
very powerful. Always remember that you touch, that it's like a circle of life. It kind of goes like this. It's a symbol for life, actually. 8 is a symbol for life. So you would have a lot of infinity, yes. Thanks for calling. It's a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go you.
Thanks
8s are
for
great.
calling in, Connie. Great. Well, we are almost at the end of the show. We just have a couple minutes
Well,
left.
let's tell everybody about next Thursday what we're going to do.
So next Thursday, I believe we're going to discover your
name.
Well, I know your name, but what does that mean? Like what?
In numerology, I'm going to teach you how to break down your name. And
wow, that'll
so your first and middle and last name, and for women or whoever, it's your maiden name.
Okay.
And that will give us another. So in birth, there's a way to do this where you look at the birthplace, which is, your birth dates. That's the life path. Well, we also choose our names before we incarnate. There you go.
Right.
And when we do, we look at it. And John and I will post. John will post a thing about how to calculate it.
Yeah.
And then by next Thursday, it's really, really simple. I swear. I do this in my sleep in my head. It's so simple. But it's we'll do that. I thought it'd be fun to do. At least you can practice on it. It's going to be fun. Oh, so 6/6/2013, 3, 4, 5. So, oh my God, 666. Wendy, that's somebody who definitely needs harmony. 666, which is a 9, really. 6 times 3 is 18. It's a 9. So that needs, but it's written out as 666, which is actually peace and harmony. But he's a 9, so it's a very old soul. Good call on that, Wendy.
Well, that's got 3. How's that? Or maybe
6/6.
Somebody else.
What it said 6/6.
Wendy needs a 3, but that might be from another comment. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then on Monday's show, who's our guest, John?
Monday's show will be the one and only James Van Prague.
Woo! That's gonna be so fun.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun.
It really will be.
Yeah.
And thanks for everyone who has joined our group from James's group. We appreciate you coming over and jumping
Absolutely. And I don't know if we're going to do readings or not on Monday, but we might. James and I might do a double link, which is really fun. But also, if anybody thinks of anything they want us to talk about, let us know because we'll address it because James and I are big talkers.
Sure. And then also we are getting ready to do our webinar. Our webinar is going to be coming up very soon. And
yes.
I think, do you want to make that call right now, Kel?
Yep. Go ahead, John. You tell
All
me.
right. So we're going to do archetypes, both psychological and spiritual archetypes. And that'll be a 90-minute dive into archetypes. So we'll look at both the positive and negative qualities of each archetype and the psychology and spirituality behind the archetypes.
Yeah, and why maybe you chose it.
And that's our first one. That's our first webinar. We'll offer that. It'll be 90 minutes. It'll probably be $20. And it'll be through Zoom. And just to let you know, we will be doing more of those in the future. So let us know in the comments what you would like for us to address. We're also going to bring in Prajna, our energy healer, who has been on the show a few times, Carrie, our family constellation therapist, and much more as well. And so it's going to be soon 5 sides now.
5 be 5 soon. It will be 5 sides because we call it points of entry because there's so many ways to view a soul.
Yeah,
which I love, and we have an A+ team here, and it's just so great. It's just really great.
I was going to say our square, our 4 sides now, but then
I'll we add you. That's 5 sides.
Mix, so we got 5 sides now.
There you go. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kel. Appreciate you. Love you. And
love
I know
you too.
That we're going to have a great show on Monday with James. So, folks, if you haven't joined our group, please do so. I'll be standing by to let you in, and we will be meeting in our chat room. Kel, you going to jump in? You have time today?
I'm going to jump in for just a few minutes.
Okay. So I'll post the link in our group. We actually will be probably meeting on Google Meet. I think that'll be easy for people. So we'll do that one. All right. So we'll see you there in the group. Take care, everybody. Be kind to one another and yourself. Bye-bye.